is where the drama starts. Lap 30, 8 laps to go. Sandobi hoping to take advantage of these lapped cars. Pileski goes dives on the right side. Very aggressive here. This is lap 4. The two Viceroys. Bill Frazier ahead of Matt Pileski. Frazier's off. Frazier hit the grass. You hit that tire wall, your day is done. Well, now it's lap 20. The Williams still trying to get around the Terrell team as he'll go around the lap car and around those at the same time. At the same time, he's got the inside corner. Will he ride the curb? Yes, he will. He will get him on the inside. Vita Maria leading us all into Moss's corner. Look at the beauty as his right side will cook the grass. Oh, a 180, no, a 360. Oh. Who will yield going into this corner? It's really not meant for too wide as it will be Gernot. Gernot will yield. Lots of smoke picking up from that Williams car. He is pushing it to the absolute limit. 26 of 30 now. Only 4 laps to go. He's going to get the run coming out the final corner. He's going to pull up side by side with the leader. It's going to be a drag race to the finish. Who is going to get there first? It's going to be...
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final round of the Classic Lotus Grand Prix here from Nürburgring in Germany.
Hey guys.
This is the championship decider. This is the race where it's usually all on the line, and this is the most demanding challenge that a race car driver can face. Who will come out as victorious? Who will raise the trophy? Those are the questions that will be answered tonight from Germany. This is a Trailer TV broadcast. I'm Joonas Puhakka. Alongside with me on the broadcast booth, Tapani Linnaluoto. How is your day?
It's been a busy day. I've been repotting my Chinese hibiscus, and it was a challenge. I'll tell you. It was like chopping through a jungle with a machete.
Yeah. Yes, so you felt a little bit like Indiana Jones star for a moment.
Yes, exactly. That's me when I'm repotting my houseplants.
What is your opinion on whips?
On what?
Whips.
Oh, whips. Well,
yeah.
Whips and snakes don't fit.
Okay, that's an interesting piece of information there. And hello to our lovely viewers too. You are watching these pictures from the Nürburgring in Germany, the combined layout, I should mention. 169 corners, 21.95 kilometers. And soon the race is ready to get underway. And let's run you through some qualifying times in the meanwhile, shall we? It is AJ Beer, the Australian man from land down under, starting in pole position with a 7:40.058. Gernot Fritsch on the second position with a 7:40.078. That's right, just under 8-minute lap times, and there is 2 100ths of a second separating these two. Victor Rodriguez and Alex Sanders in the second row. 200ths of a second separating, 3 seconds separating these two from each other too. I looked at the chart wrong there. 10. Mathieu Wood 5th, Gerd Höfer 6th, John Stevens, Torsten Cole, Frichten Kate and Nicola Cocci rounding out your top 10. 35 drivers, a full grid here today, and that, Tapani, will be quite a sight as they go into turn number 1.
Oh yes, and it's the track is 18 degrees, overcast. Quite windy too. It's going to be tricky. The first lap on the GP section is going to be extremely difficult. The car really doesn't like cold temperatures, with because we of course don't have tire warmers.
Yeah, we don't have tire warmers. We might have some mechanics sitting on the tire at least until the last minute, but that doesn't help much. And well, it's gonna be an interesting turn number 1 as they are already lined up and waiting for the signal to go. Heading into turn number 1, will it be AJ Beer still leading? It's Gernot Fritsch currently in the front row. The lights are on and they will be out, and AJ Beer is actually missing from the grid. So it's Gernot Fritsch taking the field into turn number 1. 10 it is. Victor Rodriguez in the second place. Alex Sanders already challenging him. Going into turn number 1. 10 Mathieu Wood. Then Gerd Höfer. Will they get through cleanly? That is the real question. We'll have to just wait and see here. Oh, Torsten getting real loose in turn number 1. But so far so good. It looks to be tight. But most importantly, it looks to be clean. here from out. Couple of drivers going a little wide aside from that. No big dramas at all. You can see the snake already forming. The gaggle of cars going across the GP circuit. And then we are heading already into the first hairpin of the GP circuit. And look at the lead that Gernot Fritsch has already pulled out. That's half a second.
Yeah, Nuno Moreira got a bit of a bump from Alex Millward in turn 1 as Alex was sliding around. Nothing else that I saw in the first few corners.
Yeah, so that's very good. That's very good from these guys. Gernot already pulling a lead, but I'm surprised by the decision of Mr. H.A. Beer. He started from the pit lane, maybe just to stay on the safe side of things. Maybe he was suspecting that this overgas pedal might not suit him. But either way, he's having to claw his way all the way from the back, and will be interesting to see how he rises up to the occasion from there. He's got Nuno Moreira for company, who is currently challenging Keith Herner. But let us focus on the lead end of the back, because Gernot Fritsch is soon making his way to the legendary Nordschleife section of the track. It is at the chicane, and then he will turn left instead of turning right, and the grip changes here dramatically. You come from the ice rink, especially with the cold tires, the GP circuit feels like an ice rink, and then you come into the grippy, lovely surface of the Nordschleife, but it can be absolutely treacherous as they move forward, and we'll just have to see who will be the first to fall victim to all of these corners, all of these curves, and all of this danger that is in here. Gernot Fritsch already has a gap of about 2.5 seconds to Victor Rodriguez in the second place. He is very good on cold tires. Then it's Alex Saunders following them along, Gerd Hofer, Nicola Cocci, Mathieu Wood, Torsten Cole, John Stevens, and Freakten Kate currently seeming to be rounding out. No, he's actually 9th. Marcus Papenbrock is rounding out your top 10 here on the racing field, but we'll have to see, because there are some very fast guys coming from the back end of the field, Tapani, that have not yet arrived in the pictures, but
John
will
Stevens
have
and,
their hands full.
Freakten Kate side by side. Oh, not in the Flugplatz.
Yeah, almost into the Flugplatz, going side by side, and then they realized, probably John Stevens realized, yeah, he hasn't got a proper run, you know what, it's the first lap, I'm just gonna leave here. But John Stevens seems to be very fast on the straight line as they come to the Schwedenkrauts, and then to the Armberg corner after that, the right-hander Armberg, and this is where you see usually the newcomers go off, Tapani.
On the braking zone to Arenberg, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a kind of difficult braking zone, but yeah, just have to know the place, and it's a deceptively fast right-hander. It feels very slow, but actually it's a second or third gear corner.
Yeah. It feels kind of like deceptively slow, and especially when you come from Schwedenkrauts, because it can come as a surprise. Schwedenkrauts, you know, very fast left-hander, flat out with these cars, absolutely flat out, and then you have to get the braking zone right. Thankfully, the tarmac changes just a little bit to accommodate that, so it's not so bad. And I believe there's also a battle between Gerd Hofer, Nicola Cocci, and Mathieu Wood currently on the racetrack. Something happened to Mathieu Wood. Did you happen to catch that?
No, he's just been hanging behind them. I'm not sure if there's more to them than that.
Yeah, fair enough. So we'll just have to see. Gerd Hofer also going very wide on the first one of those low corners in the back section. And I apologize, I don't remember every corner in the Nordschleife. Let's just get this out of the way. I don't remember every corner on the Nordschleife by heart. But that is the Verscheifen corner. And then they go to Berchehen. And as you can see, the cars here simply going on a formation. It seems like right now that Gerd Hofer is struggling a little bit on the first lap, but Nicola Cocci is a really man on the move with number 18 painted on the front of his car. This is not someone we know from previous races. He has made a couple of appearances in Classic Lotus Grand Prix, if my memory serves me right, but he is not one of the so-called regulars. But he's currently sitting in the 5th position, challenging Gerd Hofer, has Mathieu Wood right behind him. Let's see what Mathieu Wood does here. Looking to the right-hand side of the track, but not quite able to make it work. This is a very difficult section to pass in. You have to basically be sure that somebody makes a mistake if something happens. So in order to pass someone on this section, or you have to be really brave, as Nicola already looks for a chance to pass Gerd Hofer here, but not just quite able to make it work. We also have received a word from the officials that UC Clap is out of the race. You may have seen that also in the pictures, but I totally missed it as I was concentrating on this battle. So we'll have to see what happens here. And Gerd Hofer, Nicola Cocci, Mathieu Wood currently heading into the carousel to carousel section, the back end of the track. And Tapani, I've heard this section being called the Memory. And it's quite a good nickname. Explain it.
The Memory? I don't think I.
Yeah, the game, the Memory.
Okay, I don't think I've heard that before, but yeah, you have to know every corner by heart. Just no guessing. As you drive the track a lot, everything comes from your backbone, and you can't think.
Mistake. Yeah, Gerd Hofer makes a mistake. Seems that like the track wasn't quite on his backbone yet, just going a little bit too far to the inside on the corner, then sliding wide on the exit, and Nicola Cocci says, "Thank you very much, I'll take that from you, and I'll take the 4th position." And now, I'm very interested to see what Nicola does here, because he is really a man on the move on the first lap. Up 5 positions from his starting place. Excuse me, 6 positions. He started from, he was qualified on 10th place. Started from the 9th position as a result of AJ Beer's interesting starting strategy. And now is up in the 4th place. He has a lot of free air in front of him. Already 9 seconds between Alex Saunders in 3rd and Nicola Cocci in the 4th position. But Nicola Cocci seems to be really having a good pace here. Gerd Hofer struggling to follow him, as is Mathieu Wood, who is a little bit stuck right now behind Gerd. And we'll just have to see whether Mathieu Wood can get past Gerd Hofer here on the long 1.7 kilometer Dottinger-Höhe straight. That is of course measured to the bridge. From bridge to gantry, 1.7 kilometers. And that is a long time to look for an overtake.
Yeah, and you said you don't remember all the corner names. That's why I have a track map track map printed out in front of me. So
printed out. It's 2017.
Yeah, and I love paper.
Oh, okay. You hate forests.
Well, and I don't have a second display to have a track map on, so.
Excuses, you nature hater. Anyway, Gerd Hofer was actually able to defend his position from Mathieu Wood, but Mathieu Wood comes back again to the main straight. Let's see what Mathieu Wood does here. Gets to the inside. Gerd Hofer was thinking of defending for a second turn, then realized he is hopelessly too late. They are also catching up to Nicola Cocci as they come along, and we'll just have to see what Mathieu Wood does here. Gerd braking really late on the outside. They are still side by side as they head into turn number 2. The arena section of the track, but it seems that Gerd Hofer is able to make it work defending on the inside. Mathieu Wood not able to carry enough speed going into turn number 2, and as a result of that, Gerd Hofer is able to hold on to his position. They're right at the back of Nicola Cocci here, but if this stays as it is, I'm expecting Nicola to actually, as unbelievable as it sounds, when we are talking about Gerd Hofer and Mathieu Wood, I'm expecting Nicola Cocci, if he can keep this pace up, to run away from these two guys all the way into the sunset at the Nordschleife section once they come there.
Yeah, he seems to be pretty, not having a pretty nice pace overall, but it's a very long way to the 3rd position of Alex Saunders. So, well, it's a long, 5 laps still, so it's a long way to go.
It is a long way to go, that is very much true. And it can feel even longer when you're talking about the Nürburgring. Because every lap here is a challenge, every corner is a challenge, and one mistake can end your race. Let's run you through our top 10 after one lap. Seems like AJ Beer has had a moment, I just checked it out. But let's just run you through our top 10 as of right now. It is Gernot Fritsch in the lead, in a dominant lead after one lap. He is 3 seconds ahead of Victor Rodriguez in the 2nd place. Alex Saunders is 3rd. He is 3.5 seconds behind Victor Rodriguez and 6 seconds behind the leading Gernot Fritsch. Nicola Cocci in the 4th position. Then Gerd Hofer 5th. Mathieu Wood 6th. Frichten Kate 7th. Torsten Cole 8th. John Stevens 9th and San Wilchar is in the 10th position. And for those interested about how our resident Australian, the man who qualified on pole but started from the pit lane, AJ Beer, is doing, well, AJ is currently sitting in the 15th position already 41 seconds behind your race leader Gernot Fritsch, but he is making steady progress forwards.
We'll have to see how far he can go.
Indeed, and that's one of the exciting parts about this race, because you see people battling, and you see people who are you see massive speed differences also at the Nürburgring. That is the traditional to the track. There are people who know the track from their heart, by the bottom of their hearts. People who have spent tens, hundreds, even thousands of practice laps around here. They know each and every corner, each and every groove, each and every height differential. They know which line to take to each and every corner. They know where the grip is, they know where the grip isn't. And then there are people who treat Nürburgring like a normal racetrack. They can be even intimidated by it, and rightfully so. But the lap times in such a long lap with so many fast and blind corners, it can be tremendous. Just an example of that, last lap from Gernot Fritsch 7:49.7, Victor Rodriguez 7:53.0, Alexander 7:56.5. So Gernot Fritsch was 7 seconds faster than the third place man right on the first lap. And that's normal here.
Yeah, Nuno Moreira on the rise as well. He passed Steve Soros, and I think... No, Rodrigo Saracen, sorry.
Rodrigo Gonzalez, yes, so that means Nuno Moreira is currently sitting in the 17th position, just 2 places behind HABR, so these will be the guys who will be looking to make progress as the race progresses. Nicola Cocci still leading, Gerd Hofer still leading Mathieu Wood on that battle for the 4th position on the track. Let's see, Mathieu Wood is still very close to Gerd Hofer. This has been a very good battle between the Volt & Wolf Racing and the Lotus cars that are currently sitting in 5th and 6th places, and both also experienced racing car drivers. We've seen these guys battle right around the tail end of the top 10 Tapani so many times, and right now the 5th position is at stake. Let's see, can Mathieu Wood make it work with Bergberg? No, he can't, but he takes a very good exit. Gerd Hofer sliding a lot, and now is Mathieu Wood's chance. He has got a good run heading into the long back straight that really isn't a straight, but we'll call it a straight for all means and purposes. So let's see what Mathieu Wood can do here. Where will go? Oh, he goes wide. Gerd Hofer not leaving him any room at the right hand side at all. And Tapani, what's your take on that?
Yeah, it's a straight, but it's not a straight. So it's kind of Mathieu Wood was.
Oh, Nuno Moreira, he's out.
Oh,
Nuno Moreira is out of your race. Let's see what happened here. Just seemingly be just a few moments ago. If we can get a replay on that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He was just breaking into the second one of the slow corners, which is the Verscheifen corner, no, the Breitscheid corner, excuse me, just before X-Mühle, and he just braked too late, hit the inside curb, and went into the wall. And it's still, for the 5th position, it is still Gerd Hofer, it's still Mathieu Wood battling each other. They have received a lot of screen time here, and rightfully so. Matt is right behind Gerd right now in the memory game, but the thing is here, you can't really pass on these corners unless somebody makes a mistake. That's how Nicola Cocci got through last time around, exactly on this corner. This time Gerd makes it through very well. Matt is right behind him, he's following him along, just a couple of tenths of a second behind. There's not much between these guys, and Nicola Cocci once again running away as they are coming into the last section of the track, and he has to make up a gap of about a second if he wants to break away from the slipstream here. That is not an easy task to do, but it is certainly possible. Through Flamskarten here, heading up the hill, 10 into the left-hander, the backman corner, and Gerd Hofer breaking a lot more than Mathieu Wood in that position. Gerd Hofer breaking a lot into the left-hander, but still Mathieu Wood not able to get through because he just has simply no room going in there. So we'll wait and see what happens here. Also, Victor Rodriguez has caught up 2 seconds to Gernot Fritsch. We'll see the gaps. It is currently 1.5 seconds according to my timing as they are in the back straight, but following along with Mathieu Wood and Gerd Hofer here for now. Oh, Gerd makes a big mistake in the last corner of the Nordschleife, but Mathieu Wood just breaking a little bit, not quite able to capitalize on that mistake, and also a wonderful save by Gerd Hofer, Tapani, as Mathieu Wood goes side by side with him.
Yeah, but as you can see, you can get it alongside, but then your speed just runs out because you hit your own top speed, and there we go, side by side all the way.
Oh, but Gerd Hofer actually hit the grass just a little bit on the inside, and also hit the curb at Antoniusbuche. That means that Mathieu Wood is finally able to get past Gerd Hofer here, and he is currently about 2 seconds behind Nicola Cocci here. So we'll just have to see what happens. What can Mathieu Wood here? This is the first time in this race we'll be able to see the pace of Mathieu Wood as we see the last lap times. It is Nicola Cocci in the lead of the pack with a 740.4, then Mathieu Wood 750.4, excuse me, for Nicola Cocci. Then it's Mathieu Wood 751.9, Gerd Hofer 752.5. So Matt right now has a real big task ahead of him, but I think we should jump Tapani to the battle for your race lead.
Oh, there's a battle for the race lead.
Yes.
Oh, it's developing. Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
Very interesting. Last lap times between Gernot Fritsch and Victor Rodriguez. Victor was 1.5 seconds faster last time by than Gernot Fritsch. There is Alex Saunders 5.5 seconds behind him. Oh, and AJ Beer has crashed also. Oh no. No, he's actually only was in the pit lane. Excuse me, I was thinking he has crashed. His name flashed blue on my screen for a second, but he just went into the pit lane to perhaps get some new tires in. Yeah, it definitely seems like a tire change or a fuel stop. That was a very quick stop, but AJ Beer still able to just keep going on the track, and is right now seemingly in the 23rd position on this race. So a little bit of an update from AJ Beer's situation, and I'm kind of sad that AJ is all the way down there, because Tapani I was expecting, and I was looking forward to him battling for the race victory here. He had the pole position, but then a bizarre decision to start from the pit lane made it all the more difficult for the Australian, but he's certainly still battling. Also some updates to you from our guys on the track side, that it seems that Gernot has a little bit less downforce than Victor Rodriguez, as his top speed was significantly higher on the back straight. So how much of a difference does downforce levels make here at Nürburgring combined compared to the normal industry for them? Will you run a higher or lower downforce?
It's so short of a part of the track, so the Nordschleife makes all the difference. And Nordschleife is kind of deceptively low downforce section. Actually, you have those long straights, and the twisted sections don't quite make up for the straights. So you run on the lowish side of things regarding wings. Medium low,
yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, medium long, but the thing is the GP section is medium high downforce. And also the surface. We talked about it briefly on lap 1, but the surface can change dramatically between the GP track and the Nordschleife.
Well, I have no knowledge on that. I have driven the GP track so little compared to this Nordschleife, so I can't comment.
Okay. Well, anyway, from my experience, it seems like you come from an ice rink to a racetrack when you exit GP section and go to the industry farthing. It's kinda, the tarmac is just so different on the GP track, and that's why it can be so difficult. And combined with that, the fact that you run with medium low downforce, as Tapani said, in the industry farthing section of the track in Nordschleife traditionally, and you're supposed to run medium high downforce on the GP track, and then the slippery surface, it means that it can be very, very difficult to make it work in the GP section. People always think that the combined layout is basically Nordschleife plus a couple of corners added to it, but I would say that if you want to nail a lap time here, mastering the GP section is actually quite important, very important.
Yeah, I was doing a few practice laps, and I really such a slouch on the GP track.
Oh, Steve Saros! Steve Saros from the 18th position. Car number 28 is in the wall and he is in the grass currently trying to get going. Let's see what happened to Steve here. Oh yeah, just went a little bit too fast in the first fast left-hander. That is the very treacherous corner. He went hard into the wall with right-hand side tires and his car is pretty much a banana right now as he goes on the track, but he's still able to keep going. But slow cars who have crashed can be quite a hazard here at the Nordschleife.
Yeah, you have to be very careful when passing. And that you can do only so much if you're trying to let people by here.
Yeah, that is true. You have to hold your line, but in some cases, in a lot of cases, actually at the Nordschleife Tapani, there is only one line. So what are you going to do?
And there's a battle between Jamie Hall and Philip Lake.
Yes, it is. So yes, there is. They are going to the fast left-hander, then into the right-hander, soon coming towards Carrousel. Let's see what Jamie Hall can do here. Last lap times, Philip Lake was actually 3 seconds faster than Jamie Hall, but Jamie Hall seems to have caught him up at some point or another. So we'll have to see what happens between these two here. The gap last time by was 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds almost. But it seems that Jamie Hall has been able to find a little bit more pace from somewhere, or Philip Lake has made a mistake somewhere along the line. So this is for the 12th position. And Jamie Hall, a newcomer this series, someone who is racing this week, certainly is looking to make a mark. Just like Nicola Cocci is looking to make a mark here. So, but right now, as it seems, Philip Lake is once again pulling a little bit away from these guys. So, coming into the tail end of the track are Gernot Fritsch and Victor Rodriguez, soon heading into the long back straight section of the track. So we'll have to see what happens here. Back end section of the track.
Not quite in the draft zone. Just
no, he's not. He's 1 second away. But we'll have to. I'm interested to see the top speeds here. I'm very curious to see the top speeds here because it's Gernot in the lead. So Victor technically should have a little bit of draft, maybe just a little bit, but not enough to make an effect. But it seems to me that Gernot is running just a little bit away. Let's get the speeds from under the bridge, shall we? I want to see how fast Gernot is going here and how fast Victor is going here. 2.73 for Gernot, 2.72 for Victor, so 1 km/h of a difference. But the difference then seems to be somewhere else, maybe in acceleration, Tapani.
Well, it was 1 second in the beginning of the straight, and Gernot took away like a couple of tenths over the long straight. So there is a little bit of draft at that range. So Gernot is running a lower downforce setup, but not that much lower. Somewhat, anyway.
So, somewhat lower. So, do you think it's not low enough to prevent Victor from passing should he get into the draft range?
Well, on the long straight, I think if he just
AJ Beer! Now he is in the wall. Now he is in the wall. Oh my, that was a big one. Let's see what happened here. Robert Simpkins seems to have made a mistake at the last section of the Nordschleife. It's just exiting mini carousel. Robert Simpkins was passed by Edwin von Velsen. Then went wide on the last corner, and AJ Beer just had nowhere to go. Didn't even see the situation properly. And actually Robert backed out just a little bit on track, and then AJ Beer ran right into the side of him, and that's all she wrote for the Australian. So the brave race, the brave strategy of AJ Beer seems to have come to bear no fruit at all. And well, that was a very, very, very unfortunate accident for AJ. And also for Robert.
Victor is really catching up again.
Yeah, and Mathieu Wood has also...
sections.
Yeah, and Mathieu Wood has also passed Nicola Cocci. So, the battle, we were wondering about the fourth position between Mathieu Wood and Nicola Cocci. Well, turns out Mathieu Wood was 2 seconds faster last time by than Nicola Cocci. And he has also passed him here at lap number 4. Gerd Höfer is also catching back up to Nicola. So it seems that Nicola's pace is not quite where he started from, or perhaps Matt and Gerd are just getting their car starting to work. Either way, Nicola... he spins! He spins! Nicola spins! Gerd Höfer mounts him from the front. Oh man, that was a big one. So Nicola has a lot of damage, and it was at the corner heading into the Nordschleife. And that was a tremendous accident. Both cars able to keep going, but both receiving heavy front end damage, especially Gerd Höfer receiving front end damage. Nicola Cocci damage in the front wing, damage in the rear wing as well. You could see Gerd mounting his car all the way, and now Nicola has an uphill battle in front of him. And what started as a so good of a race for Nicola Cocci has suddenly turned into a battle for survival. The Italian just having to fight his way to the end. Let's see where is Torsten Cole. That is the next guy from them. 3.5 seconds behind. So, Nicola Cocci and Gerd Höfer. So, Tapani, just analyze what happened there and why it happened.
There was a spin and someone was coming from behind.
Nicola blew his engine.
Yeah, that's the engine.
Yeah, that's the engine. Engines, as all automobile devices, as all racing devices, they work on smoke. Because once the smoke comes out, the car stops working. And you can see that in the case of Nicola Cocci and... well, how did that even happen? Could there have been some lynching damage in the background from the collision?
Yes, it's definitely from the collision. Probably either the water pressure or oil pressure was just dropping after the collision, and when you run out of oil, then I don't think the engine runs anymore.
Yeah, so that's a hot tip for you. That's a hot tip for you, everyone watching. Once you run out of oil, the engine stops working. And that's also a mechanical tip. Never forget to change the oil on your car. And also, if you do engine repairs, if you do oil changes, don't forget to put new oil into the car. A friend of mine actually did that. He changed the engine, swapped the entire engine on the car, went for a test drive, forgot to put oil in the engine. Oops.
Whoops.
Yeah, whoops. Anyway, greetings to... that's Gerd Höfer into the wall and Freakton Kate having to slow down. And that's a big traffic jam in the corner now. Piling in is Marcus Papenbrock, Sun Wiltshire, Freakton Kate as well. Freakton Kate able to keep going. But Gerd Höfer spun and went into the wall. And Freakton Kate also, everyone actually miraculously managing to avoid the situation, because that had all the receipt for a disaster. That is a prime receipt for a disaster. Let's see what happened here. Gerd Höfer, he did what so many of people have done there previously. Just braking too late in the corner. Then going over the left-hand side curb, which is a high curb. You lose the traction. Nose first into the wall with a damaged car, mind you. And then Gerd was right alongside the wall. And then Freakton Kate also made a mistake. Similar mistake, and almost ran into Gerd Höfer. So we'll have to see the situation here as...
in the lead.
Yeah.
Gernot is in the wall.
Oh no. Wow. So, that's all she wrote for Gernot Fridge. That's a shock.
I think our director was on that and we were not.
Yeah, I think our director was on that, so you could see it on your screens. And he actually went to the wall in a straight line.
Let's see what happened.
Little bit of a... Yeah, let's see what happened here. Tapan, just run us through it once you see it. You can explain it better than I can, because I could get nothing out of that. Seems that he just ran into the wall at the long back straight. Maybe a momentary loss of concentration or something.
No, he was in the wall in the corner that goes into the long twisting straight.
Well, that explains.
Bergwerk, I think that's the corner name.
Yeah, Bergwerk. Just after another Austrian had a different kind of a hairy moment in 1976, but let us not go through there. So, update from your race lead. It seems that Victor Rodriguez is your new race leader, and he has a comfortable 10-second gap over Alex Saunders in the second place. And that also means that Mathieu Wood is currently fighting for the podium, is holding on to the final podium position. He has Torsten Kahl behind him, then John Stevens in the 5th position, and behind him is Marcus Papenbrock, then it's Son Wiltshire, Freak 10, Kate, Jamie Hall and Philip Lake rounding out the top 10 just ahead of Nathan Little Porter. So very interesting race, and it has already turned out to be a race of attrition with formidable names such as Gernot Fritsch, AJ Beer, Nuno Moreira, Alex Milward, all out of the race. So, well, it seems that out of the usual top running guys in this series, only Victor Rodriguez is left.
Yeah, it's so difficult to track. It's so easy to make a little bit of a mistake, and you don't have any runoff areas. You have high curbs, which will throw you into the walls, even if you touch them a little. It's a hairy track, and that will happen if you lose your concentration for a split second in the wrong place.
Yeah, I've experienced it a couple of times myself in the Nürburgring. Famously having lost one victory in the last corner. That was the Industriefahren. But yeah, having lost a victory in the last corner. So it can happen. It can happen, and it will happen. And also Nathan Porter is seemingly having a battle here. Let's see what's happening here. Nathan Porter is right behind Philip Lake on the Döttinger-Höhe straight. And as they come up the hill, Nathan moves to the middle of the track. Philip Lake just moving over the crown, and that's not a good plan, but it seems that Philip's car is so high that he doesn't actually bottom out over the crown. And Tapani, that's really surprising as Nathan Porter looks to the outside. They are still side by side heading the last corner, but finally Nathan just having to back out, deciding we don't want to go too wide through there. But that's really surprising.
Well, in the Nordschleife you have to run the car a bit higher, because there's also those bumps and undulations. Otherwise, you'll be hitting the car's bottom on the track all the time.
But that's what you're supposed to do! It's the Nordschleife, man! You want all the downforce, you don't need the wings, you just run the car right to the bottom of the track and it bottoms out. Then you're supposed to just know where the track is a little bit smoother, so you adjust the driving lines accordingly. That's what you're supposed to do here. Don't run these Le Mans setups, guys, come on!
No, it's only a few millimeters. Well, you know, if the track is flat versus if the track is bump, you have to accommodate.
I know. But I always was a fan of the strategy where you wouldn't accommodate as much and try to see what happens here. Of course, if you run the car too low, then you're gonna have some surprises in the form of landmines, which there are 2, I think, there in this track.
Oh, Nathan Porter on the outside.
Yeah, Nathan Porter trying to the outside in the double corner. Philip Lake defending the inside. This is for the 10th position. This is for the top 10. Oh, Nathan Porter, a beautiful move. And as they head to the Michael Schumacher S, it seems that Nathan Porter has took the 10th position away from Philip Lake. And I think our director will kindly give us a replay on that. So,
yeah,
to the outside.
is out also.
Yeah, he's actually in the pit lane, went there earlier on because he had very much damage. So I'm interested to see whether or not he will continue the race after the damage repairs are done, or whether he will call it a day. There are some positions still at stake, and the gaps, I should point out, are quite big. The last current lead lap, Brenton Parker, is 5.5 minutes behind your race leader Victor Rodriguez, and the first car over a minute behind race leader Victor is Jamie Hall in the 9th position. But that's the one of the inspiring things about this circuit. One of the reasons I love Nordschleife so much. It's such a big challenge, and it's always about survival. As I said on the Lotus 49 broadcast on Thursday, this is a kind of a track where you don't really race each other. You don't really race other drivers here. You are racing the car, and primarily you are racing the track, and it's more of a game of survival than a traditional motor race. So it's kind of a throwback also into the olden days of Grand Prix racing.
Yeah, definitely. The track is really challenging. The corners are all different. They are cambered individually. Very nice track, and you never get tired running around it.
Not at all, but you will get tired running around it.
Oh, yes, but you get tired of it.
Yes. Yes, you will get very tired running around it. And that's one of the risks here. It is, in a lot of ways, kind of like Monaco. Okay, bear with me here, bear with me here, bear with me here. Because you're gonna be thinking, what is Joonas talking about now? Well, kind of like Monaco in one sense. You have to keep your concentration up at all times. There is that one long straight Döttinger Höhe where you can relax just a little bit. But otherwise, it's constant assault on every 5 senses in your body, and you also have to use that sixth sense. That sixth sense that only racing drivers have.
Joonas.
The adaptability to speed. Yes, Tapani, go.
Can you tell me how do you use the sense of taste in your driving?
You can
Do
taste the victory.
blood? Or the
You
victory,
taste the blood,
yes,
you taste the
of course.
victory.
Alright, I was wondering.
Yes. That is kind of like your hunger, in a sense, to the race. But you also have to use that sixth sense, adaptability to their speed. So you have to adapt to the speed, you have to adapt to your surroundings. But as many people... Oh, Mathieu Wood has made a mistake here. And he's in the wall. He's in pit lane. So, one of those fast corners. He went wide on the first fast left-hander. I'll just have to check the name of that corner right now. It is Mutkurve. So he went too fast into the Mutkurve. Just went wide on the grass. That is so easy to do. Wasn't able to recover. Just hit the wall ever so slightly. And then he was in the wall. And his car is broken.
Exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So...
that sometimes
go on.
can cut you out. That corner. It should be flat out as he was trying to do, especially in this weather.
Yeah, this weather it should be easy flat. But the thing is that it's the kind of corner where you don't know whether you can get it flat out or not before you're actually committed to it already. Once you realize the moment that yeah, okay, I'm not gonna make it, I just have to lift here. It's oftentimes too late, as Mathieu would discover here, and it's also so critical to the proper driving line because as with so many corners in the Nordschleife, there's only one optimal line that you can take the corner at the optimal speed. You have to kind of like get all the way to the right in the entry. There is just a little bit of a track extension that you can use. And then you have to get all the way to the left, but not over the curb on the entry, and then just commit to it. And it's one of the most difficult places, in my opinion, on the entire track. Turn number 1 at Nordschleife, that corner.
Oh, Frickton and Kate on the wall.
Oh, Frickton K too. Oh no! I was looking forward to seeing great result from him, so let's see what happened here. One of those fast corners on the back end of the track, in the memory. Yeah, and he snapped out of it, it seems. Tapani, it seems that he just lost it in the middle of the corner.
Yeah, there's a couple of bumps on that corner, and sometimes the exit can be a bit tricky, but that's too bad. I was looking forward if he could have been battling for the position in front of him.
Yeah, but also, interestingly, not that much damage. So
Well,
he's still in the
put
7th place.
Well, as his front wing is gone, but but gone. But I suppose if the tires point straight ahead, well, go for it.
Yeah, and they should point straight ahead, because I was looking at the impact, and thankfully, in case of Frick and Kate, you can seldom do much about here, about which point of your car is going to hit the wall. And as you said famously on Watkins Glen, if your car is in the wall, you have made some mistake before it's in the wall. Oh yes, Jamie Hall spins on the last corner of the Nordschleife, I believe. Yes, that's been a very difficult corner for a lot of these guys. No, it's not actually, it's X-Mühle. Excuse me. So, exit of X-Mühle. Another one of those difficult corners I was supposed to talk about. And it seems that he just went to the power too early, got to the bumps, and got to the grass a little bit. And yeah, that's a spin, but he's back on the track and able to keep going.
Yeah, didn't hit anything. But he lost the guys in front of him.
Yeah, That's gonna happen for a lot of people. So running out your as Victor Rodriguez comes to the final lap, he is running the GP section. He went already through the Mercedes arena, and the Spanish fans were absolutely on their feet, cheering for Victor. And why not? Because this would be an amazing victory for him. Excuse the pun, that was not intended at all. But that would be an amazing result for him here from the final round of the season. And if my memory serves me correct, it would also be the first race victory for him. Unless I am much mistaken here, at least from the broadcast races. So, Victor Rodriguez is leading the charge here at the Nürburgring in the final lap. He has 6.3 seconds over Alex Saunders in the second place, who caught him by 3 seconds over the course of last lap. So Victor cannot afford to make a mistake. This is why I compared this track to Monaco before I was interrupted by Gernot's crash, I believe. Because you can't afford to lose your concentration for a single second, and you can't go too slowly because you will lose your rhythm.
Well, you have to find that natural kind of easiness to the driving. You kind of put the car where you want. You don't push it. You don't squeeze it. You just control it with perfect accuracy.
Yeah, and I'm going to point out one thing from there to our dear viewers, for the benefit of our viewers. Let's put it that way. How exactly do you find easiness to your driving and calm and accuracy at the Nordschleife? How does it happen?
Well, I think this is one of the tracks where you have to leave a bit of a margin. You can't like try to do the perfect qualifying lap every lap, because you will be in the wall at some point or another. You just kind of have to take it a bit of easy. I'm not sure if I can explain it any better. We have seen many crashes today and lapses of concentration. So yeah. I'll let you continue.
Yes, so SARS he seems to be out of the race, and we received some information from the director about something that you probably saw on your screens, but I completely missed that when you were talking.
Oh, Philip and Nathaniel Porter are just in touching the.
Oh, let's concentrate on that. And Philippe goes to the inside on Armberg. That's quite interesting position to try for an overtake. One of the traditional players not quite able to make it work, but he got a very good run already into the Sweden crowds. He actually had to lift, and that's why he lost the best run that he had the ultimate chance for a pass, but he is still very close here on the last lap as they head through Fuchsröhre to the compression, then into Adenauer Forst, going to left, then going right. Be very careful of not hitting the curb on the left too much here. You can take it just a little bit, just like Nathan Laporte did here. Battle for the 7th position, excuse me, is on, as Clifton Cockrell seems to be out of your race, and I believe that is what our director was talking to me about earlier on. So, Nathan Porter and Philip Lake here battling it out, heading into Kallenhard, then into that very fast left-right section. Philip Lake very sideways, exiting Kallenhard. Then this corner, you just have to lift. You just have to lift her a little bit. It is so compressed that you can't go through there flat out, at least not easily. Then the miss, and heading left. This is where we saw so many drivers going out earlier in this race, as well as the next corner. Very difficult. Two very difficult corners here on this track. Nathan going very wide on the previous one, but seems to manage this one quite well. Then into Exmühle. Let's see how well can they get away from it here. It can feel like running through Exmühle, it can feel like you have grip, then you are bouncing, and suddenly you are around. But both of them able to make it work like two true racing drivers only can. And 10 heading into the long back straight, and Philip Blake not far away at all. Also, another interesting situation is developing between Marcus Papenbrock and Sean Wiltshire for the 5th position in this race. Sean Wiltshire having some damage on the back end of his car, but despite that, he is very close to Marcus as they head to the carousel section of the track. John Stevens in the 4th position, Torsten Kahl 3rd, Alexander 2nd, and Victor Rodriguez is still leading the way, but he's only 3 seconds ahead of Alex Saunders. So I don't know what we should be concentrating on right now. Let's jump on board with Alexander through these last corners. Let's see this chart. I want to see if he can make the impossible possible.
Well, at least he's trying.
He is trying, and he is trying hard, and he's catching all the time. 2.2 seconds right now. But he seems to be running out of time. It's all about how much downforce does Alex Saunders have. And what can Victor Rodriguez do here? Will he get through mini carousel easily? Because you can easily lose a second turn if you just make a tiny mistake, but Victor Rodriguez getting through it very well. Alex Saunders to 2 seconds, and that seems to be just a little bit too much as they head into the Dorttinger straight for the final time in this race. Just a 6-lap race, but it's still been a long one. Victor Rodriguez accelerating with all his might to the long back straight. Alex Saunders trying to follow, and Alex has very little top speed.
Alex can smell the victory, but he can't taste it.
No, he can't taste it at all.
If you're back to the 5 senses.
Yeah. Back to 5 or 6 senses of a racing driver, and also Alexander is quite a ways behind Victor Rodriguez in terms of straight line speed here. Almost 10 kilometers per.
True.
Yeah, 10 kilometers of an hour of difference, but still, that's so that seems to be the reason why Alex was able to catch him up so much on those last corners. But for the final time in this season, Victor Rodriguez takes the checkered flag and is the victor here at Nürburgring. Alexander's coming home in the 2nd position. 10 we're gonna be waiting for more. It is Torsten Kahl and John Stevens actually fighting for the 3rd and final place here. What can John Stevens do here? Will he be the miracle man? Will he be, against all odds, rising to the podium here at the Nürburgring? He has just a little bit, but he bottomed out going over the crown. And as a result of that, Torsten Kahl seems to be able to hold on to that position for now. It's just 3/10 of a second between these two, but John Stevens just backing off of it in the final lap. It seems that Torsten Kahl then, the German, is able to come home in his home circuit and bring home the final podium position just ahead of John Stevens, who is my surprise of the race. 5th place, Marcus Papenbrock, another German, ahead of Sean Wiltshire, who we talked with so many times in the broadcast booth. I'm just so glad to see him bring home a good result. Then a battle for the 7th place.
May have a chance.
Philip Blake may have a chance against Nathan Porter here for the 7th place. Let's see what happens. Philip Blake, it has to be done now. Oh! Philip going very left on the brakes, but Nathan Porter just managing to hold on. Philip Blake went all in and almost crashed into Nathan Porter. I thought for sure they were going to collide on the last lap, but it wasn't happening. So that, as a result of that, Nathan Porter is able to bring home the 7th place ahead of Philip Blake, who was 8. 10, let's see who comes home on the 9th place. It seems to be that Freak 10 Kate is coming home just ahead of Jamie Hall. Yes, that seems to be the case. No, actually, Freak 10 Kate made that mistake on the last lap, so Jamie Hall coming home in the 9th place. Then it will be, I believe, Edward Van Wilson coming home in the 10th position. So Edward Van Wilson coming home in the 10th position. Next we are waiting for Keith Herner in the last lap. Keith Herner gonna be 11th. 10, Patrick Lieperts will be 12th. So not many battles anymore here on track, but we are of course gonna watch all of these gladiators come home in the last lap, because everyone who makes it to the checkered flag here at the Nürburgring is a winner on their own. I know, it's everyone is a winner mentality, but you have to have a little bit of Christmas spirit here at Nürburgring, because it's such a demanding track. We saw few of the best this series has to offer just go into the wall and make mistakes, including Gernot Fritsch.
Yeah, talk about harrowing races.
Yep, but Victor Rodriguez, what a performance from him today. He was able to almost catch up to Gardner Fridge and then finally kinda like harass him into a mistake. It was almost a psych out. Gurno made that one mistake and then Victor Rodriguez said thank you very much, I think I'll take that, and cruised home to the checkered flag just 2.5 seconds ahead of Alexandros in the second position. So while we are waiting for the driver interviews, the possible driver interviews that we will have in this race, Tapani, just a quick question from one of our viewers who is named Quicklap, and I think I have a hint of who that is. And the question is, Tapani, it's directed to you. Tapani, how would you go into an 80-degree track tune and driving?
18 degrees. Well, the setup wouldn't be that much different. Maybe some changes in tire pressures, and you may get away with a bit lower downforce because you have a bit of extra grip when you get the tires warmed up. But not, other than that, just a little balance changes. Not too much. But it's not too much different.
Not too different, yeah. Quite different, however, from driving perspective. So how do you approach the cold track to continue on that line of thought?
In the beginning, it's extremely slippery. You just have to imagine what do you call it? Unboiled egg under your throttle pedal on the exits, and really easy on the brakes as well. It's the first few corners are the worst, and if you get a bit of temperature on a good straight from the rolling friction, it gets easier fast. But the first few corners, maybe the first GP layout length of a number of corners, it's pretty difficult. Just have to be very careful and make all the press the throttle carefully, like squeeze it on and not just stomp on it. Stuff like that.
Yeah. So, easy stuff. And before we move on to the championship standings, which I'm sure you all will be interested to hear, I think there will be a driver interview before that, and we will be interviewing certain driver who was so close yet so far away on the last lap of this race. Alexandros coming home in the second place, just 2.5 seconds away from victory here at Nürburgring. Alex, you started from the fourth position. It was technically a third since HA Beer started from the exit of the pit lane, but just talk us through your race and how were you able to catch up to Victor so much on those last laps?
I think we're missing Alex.
Just talk to him. He said he was ready when we are. But either way, just Tapani, your analysis quickly on the race then, before we wait on Alex.
On what part?
Anything. Your pick. Last race of the season. Your pick.
Well, we were missing some of the drivers this week. It's a track that needed really much of practice. Gave some other drivers a place to shine, and they did. It was interesting to watch. Maybe not in the racing perspective, but on a driver's perspective. I don't know. It was always nice to go around the long Norwich flat.
Yes, and we also have Alexandros here up for an interview, so I think I should repeat my question. Alexandros coming home in the second place, just 2.5 seconds behind Victor Rodriguez, and with a furious charge on those last few laps. Did you think on the last lap, exiting carousel, that you would seriously come so close?
Sorry for the problem there. I'm bad at TeamSpeak. No, I was pushing real hard on the last lap. I could see the relative gap coming down, but I kind of figured Victor was coasting. But had to try. I knew it would be very difficult to get past 2 because it seemed like I was running more wing than everybody else. So I was very slow on the straight, but really fun race, fun track. Wish I could have been closer in the end, obviously.
Yeah, so heading into the start, it was 80 degrees, 18 degrees Celsius, of course, and overcast. Very cold weather, very cold tires. How much experience did you have on these conditions, and how did you approach the start?
Well, I did a little practice in cold weather because I knew it did make a big difference, and especially with the overcast, even more so than the temperature. It seemed like you go through that first section, turns 1, 2, and 3, and you're just crawling. You can barely get on the throttle, and I was very nervous in this race because me and Victor were side by side for a few corners there, and the last thing I wanted to do was get sideways and go into him. It definitely added some difficulty to the start of this one.
Yes, but you were finally able to at least come home in the second place after Gernot's accident, and of course after a very solid drive from you as well. So one final question I want to ask you before I let you go to the greetings section. You are a rather new face into the Classic Lotus Grand Prix series. We saw you for the first time, I believe, last week at Sandward, and here this week you have been practicing Nürburgring tediously, as I've been noting by your pace. So, kind of a two-part question here. What drove you into the Classic Lotus Grand Prix series, and how has it been for you so far?
Well, I tried it once, probably about 2.5 years ago, and I had a different wheel and pedal setup, and it just was very difficult to do. But now I have a shifter that can do the H pattern, and this car is so much fun. I wanted to give it a try because I had been driving other open wheelers on the service. I actually got lazy and did GT3 this season, and this car is just so much more live than that. It's so much fun. I got a couple of my friends will be planning on doing it full time next season, so I'm excited for that. And yeah, hopefully I can keep the kind of momentum I got from this week going.
Hopefully so, because it's always exciting to see new drivers here at Classic Lotus Grand Prix. Drivers come and drivers go. We have a good community here, and we have some regular faces who are sure more than ready to help you if you have any issues. Well, they were ready to help you until they saw your pace today. I think they will be keeping their mouth shut from now on, or else they might see themselves kinda shout away from the throne by you in the future. Well, Alexandros, it was a pleasure to talk to you. If you have anything to say, add greetings, shout outs, thank yous, or anything else, then feel free to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, coming home in the second place, Alex Saunders.
Well, thank you guys for doing the broadcast. It's always fun to be able to watch these races later, and a shout out to everybody on Team Bear Pope, and all hail His Ursine Holiness.
Well, here we go. There was Alexandros, everybody, and next I will be handing the microphone over to my broadcasting partner Tapani Linnaluoto, who will be interviewing man from down under whose name isn't AJ Beard, but it is actually Edward von Wilson. Tapani, go on.
Hi, Edward. I see you finished 10th, and you had a spin on the first lap, but after that, I suppose it went pretty well. How do you think?
Yeah, it was a good race, a bit hectic in the first corners. I'm not sure what happened there. It was very slippery conditions, so it was quite nice to be at the back and just make your way up forward and avoid all the accidents. And had a really good race with Clifton, which is my teammate from Team Rabat, so shout out to him.
Did you make many passes?
Oh, actual passes, probably like one. So
Well,
it's all about avoiding situations.
So you were racing the track, as we said.
Yeah, exactly, and obviously you have to do that here. So
I'm not sure if I have much questions. If you have any nice insight on your race or the track or the series, feel free to Give us just that.
Avoid the curbs.
On this track, at least. Yeah.
That's
I've
the
been
best advice I've heard. That's the
Yeah,
same advice Tapani gave me when I started with this car.
Yeah, it was the first advice, I think.
Yeah, coming from the Lotus 49, which we raced a few days ago, obviously you could be way more aggressive, so you had to really, I had to really get off the pace and just try and get around, and it paid off. So, and thanks to everyone at CTC for putting it together. Thanks to you guys for doing what you do each week.
Unfortunately, we can't do it next season anymore, but I think we will be back at some point, I hope, at least. I'm not sure if Joonas has any more knowledge on the subject, but it's been quite a ride. And thank
it has
you
been. Yeah,
for
go
being
on.
in it.
So it's been quite a ride in these past 2 seasons. But of course, before we go into that, we have a champion to celebrate, I believe, Tapani.
I think so. There wasn't much championship battling in this race, but yes, I do suppose we have a champion.
We do have a champion, and that champion's name is from Glacier Racing, the man who brought home 6 victories in this season. Most victories that anyone has had over the course of these broadcasted Classic Lotus Grand Prix races. He was dominant throughout the course of this season. We saw him make maybe 1 mistake over the entire season. 2 if you count the kinda sketchy start at Sandford. But aside from that, he was the man to beat, and rightfully so. We can finally call him. For the first time in iRacing history, we can call this man a serious champion. Ladies and gentlemen, for 2017 Season 1, your champion, Mr. Joni Takanen. And in his honor, I believe we have also a little piece of beautiful music to play. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your hats off and rise for the national anthem of Finland. So, here's our championship celebrations. A champion sadly missing in action here, but his championship already clinched before the last race, so it's no surprise we didn't see him here at the Nürburgring. I heard he's already concentrating on his next conquest, which will be GT3, the Blank Pain Endurance Series next season, and I believe you and Joni will be teammates also.
Oh yes, that will be interesting. I just hope that I can put enough practice to be up there. I haven't been in a GT3 for a while again, so it's gonna be interesting. I hope I can do it. And Joni Takanen is going to be the fastest guy on our team for sure, I think. So
for sure, I think.
Well, you never know, but Yes, yes. I do believe we have some work to do on the GT3 side, and also there's the Finnish championship coming with the Porsche. So it's going to be a long summer and into the fall, but my heart, as always, is in this Lotus 79 series, and it took my heart at one point, and it never has let go since.
You need a napkin?
No, I need a heart transplant.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And it's a wonderful car. It's a wonderful car. It's absolute joy to drive. The community is awesome, and like a good family, it's like a family, and like a good family, they have their disagreements sometimes, but ultimately people are united by their love of this what I call the finest creation that Colin Chapman ever did. So over the course of these last 2 seasons, we've seen some great moments, we've seen some amazing battles, we've seen thrills, spills, we've crowned 2 different champions, Sergio Macias and now Joni Takarin. We crowned 7 different race winners. So Tapani, just give us your thought on some of the best moments and your overall view of the last 2 seasons that you've been able to watch here from the broadcast booth.
Well, as I said a couple of times already, it's been a ride, and many fine side by side moments, because this car is really well suited for those moments, and yes, no DRS or anything like that modern silliness in this car. This is a pure driver's racing car, which just does one thing and does it really well. So I do believe we have a compilation waiting for the end of the show. So you have any thoughts before that?
Yes, I do, and I have some closing thoughts actually, because when we came up with the idea of and when we came up with the idea of broadcasting Classic Lotus Grand Prix, I could have never imagined such a positive response and the support we've been receiving from absolutely everyone. It's been absolutely incredible. It's been such a brilliant experience. As Tapani said, I think Tapani put it best, it's been an absolute ride. It's been a roller coaster. We've had good moments, we had some bad moments, mostly from my part, but overall it's been a wonderful experience and I wouldn't change a day. Then I also have a list of people to give a public thank you. And first of all, I would like to thank the entire core Trille TV broadcast team. Eero Forsblom, Aleksi Elomaa, and of course you, Tapani Linnaluoto. We've been working at this broadcast for 2 seasons, and there's you viewers watching at home, I don't think you don't have the slightest idea, no offense, but slightest idea of how much work goes into these broadcasts and how many different scenarios and how many different things you have to take into the account. So it's been a ride, and I wouldn't be here without you. And I have to also thank some friends and associates over at Trellet. Some people who haven't been visible in the broadcast, who are not usually visible but are doing work behind the scenes. Hannu Etupalta for helping us with so many things, posting those things on forums and helping me personally to become a better commentator. Joni Beckman, who I will talk about more later, who is strictly not associated with Trellet per se, but has been a very important person in helping me become a better commentator. Juhana Kukkula for handling some of the business side of things over at Trellet, very important person also, and Sebastian Lindqvist for help with the overlays and overall graphics. And finally, I should also thank well, not finally, but I should also thank our guest commentators who have been present in this series. Sun Wiltshire, first of all, 2016 Season 4, as well as the Indy 500 charity race. Sun Wiltshire did an excellent work while he was here on the commentary booth. He really helped us get along. The 3-man broadcast team was some of the best broadcasting we've ever done, and it really helped to have a native here at broadcast booth, and his 6th position here tonight was a real warming to my heart to see him finally succeed in a race in a level he deserves. I know he works hard, and I know he's an excellent driver, but also an excellent commentator and a very friendly person. Also to Joni Beckman for joining the commentator booth at Phillip Island. That was a real pleasure. I know that wasn't one of my best. It was actually, I think, one of the worst commentaries I've ever done, because I just wasn't able to concentrate on that work. My brain wasn't working sharply, so it was a pleasure to have Joni and the broadcast booth to back me up a little bit. And last but not least, everyone, and I mean everyone, who contributed to the cost and made this broadcast happen in the first place. Everyone who jumped on board, trusted us, and put their hopes in us to provide them with the best broadcast possible. And special thanks go to SD Truck Interiors and Hydrogen Carbon Clean, as well as each and every individual out there. You guys are awesome, you guys are the best, and I hope we didn't let you down. So, from behalf of the entire Trillet TV broadcast team, behalf of myself, behalf of I believe Tapani and Alexi and Eero and all the others who have been working behind the scenes on this one. Well, it's been a ride. Thank you for the last 2 seasons. You saw a great race at the Nürburgring, and as you may have heard, we will not be continuing this broadcast next season, but hopefully we will be back in the future. Before we let you go, as the broadcast booth quiets down, as we settle for the night, there will be a special video compilation celebrating our last 2 seasons of broadcasting this series. So, I thank everyone for watching. I thank everyone and the entire Classic Lotus Grand Prix and the CDC community for these last 2 seasons. And, well, I guess, as I said in Nürburgring last season, roll the bloody highlight reel. Thank you for watching and good night.
Cheers and bye-bye. See you sometime.
Last week at Le Mans, practicing a lot, but we'll see soon what happens here. Lights are on, and as they go out, the 11th round of the Classic Lotus Grand Prix Series from San... Go out, and we are underway. First race of the season, Classic Lotus Grand Prix is underway, and from the pole position, Joni Takanen takes a big sketchy start. He has cars on his both sides. Sergio Macias turning already on the inside, and he goes through. Can Macias go through? Okay, Joni Takanen backing him. They are still side by side, heading into the S. Joni Beckman already in the third position. Geraint Prix in the fourth. Geraint already had a chance to take the lead, but chooses to back out, and it is Joni Takanen taking the lead in the Prix running it out. We have talked about the battle of British supremacy, the battle of Britain, and looks like so far the old crocs, they're out there. Ian Carr is coming to break now. What they'll do here, and Joni Beckman breaking quite early as a matter of fact on the inside. Joni Takanen sliding a little bit wide. They go too wide here once again, and this time it's still Joni Beckman able to defend, but still Joni Takanen going, sliding, and they are still side by side as they head towards the bars. Now who will blink first? Joni Takanen on the outside, that is the more difficult line. Joni Beckman on the inside, he has to be careful of sliding wide. They are still side by side as they make about crystals now. Joni Beckman going very far on the inside of them, sliding out in the exit corner, still able to hold on to the position. They are still side by side, heading towards Stavros. This is absolutely brilliant stuff. Amazing these players in these tracks, these 2 very experienced drivers who are also trying to be very fast and still side by side. The top corner is mostly difficult side by side. It's going to get neither of them giving and into each other. Just really between these 2 teammates. Now Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton watch and learn. Joni Takanen finally has to give in. outside of Linnaluoto for the crossover. Let's see what he can do. Oh, Deadmau is pressing very late and managing to get it down on the outside. Goes a little bit wide on the exit, but absolutely low. Fortunate next to the second. Gerd Herfer is through. He's through into the David Crown, also trying to follow through. Martin pulled off here on the outside of 130 out. Yes, he can.
Is Takanen here?
Yep.
Why do you have to show off so much?
Accidentally show off.